Hi everyone, welcome to class. Today we'll be talking about Texas stories. In this week's lesson, we'll be reflecting on Czechoslovakian culture in Europe and in Texas. In this week's project, we'll be learning about creative activism through art making. The Czech Center Museum in Houston, Texas, developed the Creative Activism Project to help you learn about the Holocaust while discovering your creative potential. So let's join our friends at the Czech Center Museum and their project, learn about the Holocaust and the Czechoslovakian experience, and create some artwork to effect social change. Step 1. Pause this video and watch the brief documentary on the Terezin camp. This will give us a better understanding of what the Czechoslovakian people experienced during World War II. Now that you've watched the documentary, you have a little better understanding of the Terezin camp. In Step 2, we'll review the slides provided by the Czech Center Museum in Houston. After we've reviewed the slides, we'll use the art materials we have available to create a picture. This artwork should have a positive influence on injustice, prejudice, survival, and hope of any kind. At the end of this video, I'll tell you how we can submit to the museum and get your artwork on the wall. Step 2. Just to review, what is Terezin? Terezin, also known as Terenstad, was a former military fortress constructed in 1780 in West Bohemia, Czechoslovakia. In this fortress town, the SS, or Nazis, established a transit camp and forced labor ghettos, which existed for 3.5 years, between November 1941 and May 1945. Terezin is especially remembered to be a propaganda camp, where they deceived other nations into believing that they were taking care of the people in the camp, in particular children and artists. Today, the Terezin concentration camp serves as a memorial created on the newly formed Czechoslovakian government initiative in 1947. One thing that makes Terezin unique is that we have records from the artwork that was created there. Children and artists alike created many forms of artwork, from music to theater to picture making. And all these were stored away and have been brought to life in recent years in museums and through exhibitions. One of the goals of the Creative Activism Project for the Czech Museum in Houston is to recreate these pictures that stand for strong feelings, pictures in which students have the opportunity to put their feelings onto paper or into poetry or into song. Let's think together on what your artwork might look like, and at the end of the video, I'll let you know how you can submit to the museum. Step 3. Before you create your artwork, I want to talk briefly about creative activism and how artists have done that in the past. Activist art is about spreading the message for social change, for justice, through making a picture or a poster. On the left, we have a poster for Black Lives Matter, which is an issue that we're familiar with today. On the right is an anti-war poster done by Diego Rivera. One uses words and graphics, one uses a picture. These two images speak to social change in a direct way. Perhaps you want to pursue your image in this way as well, stating exactly the case and the cause for which you're standing up against. But perhaps you want to take a more subtle approach. As we look at the artwork that the children made in the Terezin camp or the Terezin ghettos, we can see that they were interested in depicting images of places they wanted to go. For example, a forest or an oasis by a swimming pool. Artwork doesn't have to speak to a direct cause. It can just give you a mindset, take you to a place of peace. For them, art was a respite or an escape from the situation that they found themselves in. This last image is titled Dream, and I find it particularly interesting in that the artist used collage or cut pieces of paper to build their picture. Look around and find what materials you have available. Decide which social change or social issue you would like to speak to, and then think about how you would want to communicate it. Is it directly or more subtly through a picture that provides peace to the viewer? Once you've completed your artwork, you can submit to the museum in 3 different ways. You can submit an artwork through email, you could deliver the physical artwork through the mail, or you could take it to the museum in Houston yourself. The address to the Czech Center Museum in Houston is here on your screen. Feel free to pause the video and write that down. You could submit any time between now and December 31st of this year and have your work entered in the show. I hope you enjoyed today's project, and hopefully it gave you a new tool that you can add to your artist toolkit. Today's class was sponsored by ArtSpark Texas, and you can find information about their nonprofit in the link below. Thanks. Don't forget, you can like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The link to donate can be found in the description below. Thank you to our ArtSpark funders: Texas Commission on the Arts, National Endowment for the Arts, Creative Forces, St. David's Foundation, Austin Public Library, Cultural Arts City of Austin, and the Donald D. Hamill Foundation.